Good evening and welcome to the Indradrill Stadium for Alloa Athletic take on Falkirk in this Cinch League 1 game live on BBC Alba and live here on Ross TV. I'm Kieran Mooney and as ever joined by Lewis. Plenty changes in the Alloa team. David Devine comes in, as does Connor Salmon, alongside new signing from St Johnstone, Taylor Stephen, has a couple of injury woes for the Wasps. Cammy O'Donnell, Luke Donnelly and Mikko Virtanen take their place in the stand alongside John Robertson and Paul McLaren, so the manager does not have his troubles to seek. For the visitors, it's a return for red hot Ross McIver up top. We'll have to keep an eye on him.
And looking at the formation, Kieran, they're set up as a 4. So that's an interesting one.
Yep, set up as a 4, so we wondered if new signing Taylor Stephen would slot in a left wing back position. Always played off the left for St Johnstone, but
Stevie missed already.
Hetherington getting right in and about his former club, but no, Taylor Stephen goes as part of a front two alongside Connor Salmon. Coulson playing in behind, a much more natural position for Coulson.
I think so. I'm going to be interested to see how Taylor Stephen does. He only had 4 games that he played a full 90 at East Fife. So I don't want to get your hopes up too high, Kieran, but that was an interesting free kicks taken anyway, but well won by Coulson anyway. We'll go back to just 4 90 minutes for East Fife last year and 23 appearances. Often used off the bench, 16 of them came off the bench, but only 3 assists in that time. And I think mainly deployed as a centre forward. So is he going to be the goal scoring hero that we need? Because I think we need a Stevie May rather than a Taylor Stephen at the minute, but we'll see.
He's going to bring plenty of pace, directness, according to St Johnstone fans. They said that he was the best player on the park against Ross County last week. Not that that would take too much on St Johnstone's form, bar this afternoon where it seems they've got a excellent point in Glasgow. Here is Falkirk dominating earlier on. Devine deals with it in Debayo, slotting in at left back, hooks it down the line.
I think it's been a wonderful afternoon, and you can see it on the BBC cameras here that it is absolutely wild. It has just started pelting it down as everybody has made it into the stadium. This is a new thing for Falkirk as well, that the young team have all started singing, because you remember the games last year. We had Falkirk like a library for most of the games.
Morgan Neal does well to deal with it off of McIver, and Roberts is in the perfect position to pick up on the loose ball and looks to go long. It's not quite as accurate, and goalkeeper Long takes matters into his own head rather than hands, knocks it clear. And Lang over to McCann. Sends it down the line looking for McIver. And Neil back into the starting 11 after last Saturday, maybe a bit of a statement when he got hooked moments after the penalty. I never realised that he got a yellow card for dissent following the incident.
Yeah, it was a very long running dissent as well, because he had a bite at the assistant referee, and he was getting, if you were there you could hear it really loudly having a go. And then he started on the referee, and at that point,
and he's misjudged that, and McIver wins his side a corner kick.
Yeah, well, he did have one. I'm just again at Kelty. He did have one moment that was the best chance of Kelty's game so far, where he misjudged the touch and put it into the path of Chris Johnson, and only for PJ Morrison getting a strong foot to it did we manage to stay level. So his substitution, as well as that was for the dissent, he did make a couple worrying errors as Callum Morrison strikes that ball and wins another corner.
Yes, he's been so steady, so reliable, Morgan Neal, but last Saturday was definitely not an afternoon for him to remember. But it's something that Alloa fans have been crying out for, the diamond, a 4 at the back, and he'll play in a more natural partnership alongside Devine this evening. Corner comes in, dealt with by Debayo, and it'll be a goal kick.
I feel, no, Kieran. I think you're on the quiet one today. So let's maybe turn you right up. Go speak, Kieran.
Can you hear me now? It's going red, so. All right.
Your audio's not coming through on that, which is again the problem. Oh man, right.
What a day.
Take this one. Let's see if I can.
It's argument that's through, and as I could say from PJ Morrison, I don't know if I'm unplugged, but it's all systems go on the park, and Morrison stands up against his former team.
It's very, very quiet, Kieran, and unfortunately it's going to be a pain in the backside.
You're also very.
What's that?
You're also very loud.
I know, you'll hear me as very loud, but
Yeah,
the
no, that's
actual
fine.
recording's terrible. Why?
Hetherington forward to Stephen, puts it on the left hand side. DeBayo will take over, drops it back into Coulson. Scuggle's in the pocket, skips away from Morrison. Stefan Scuggle not on the same wavelength as Coulson.
I'm going to hope that this is just recording or showing me one wavelength, Kieran, and we're just going to go as normal, right?
Yeah.
So we'll continue. Anyway, you if you're loud, that's fine. I'll just dub myself over later on. I'll say Alfredo Agaman, another interesting signing for Falkirk, because the last season we saw him at Kelly, definitely their brightest player by a far margin, but he never really got any end result against us.
He got one goal. It was a scrappy one, but
a consolation as well, though, wasn't it? So.
I know it was in a draw.
Oh, was it? Oh,
it was in the first.
Didn't listen to me.
In the first game against Kelty. This is probably a system that suits players like Aguiman and Morrison. Takes the weight off of getting lots of goals and being the main striker, but just allows them freedom to have the wings to themselves, float in behind the striker. Something that forwards with plenty of pace will lap up, with McKeever knocking it down to them. There's an opportunity for the free kick. Scuggle stepping up, fresh off his 100th appearance, and it just over the bar from Scuggle. Not quite what he was after.
I did wonder after Cammy O'Donnell's unbelievable strike that if he would find a place in the team as a set piece taker, because obviously that was the thing that he really added to the team. But it's interesting to see how we've lined up.
Yeah, unsure if he's injured or picked something up. He was quite non-committal when I spoke to him before the game, so not entirely sure how he's found himself out the starting 11, out the squad, sorry.
I wonder if that, as well, I did say this to you earlier, Kieran, that our shape was determined. On Wednesday, I thought we were going to play the three, and maybe not having Cammy has meant that one left or one less player, and maybe not any left-sided players, that they're adding DeBayo in. Oh, Stevie. Oh.
It's into the box and it's going to fall to Morrison. He's cut it back, looks to wind one up with his left foot, blocked.
You can see how painfully one-footed he is, though. Yeah. So keep him on that left. I mean, he's got electric pace most of the time. Well,
McKeever did get there first. It's come off Taggart. Devine, sorry. Yeah. He claims it hasn't, but it will be a corner kick for the Bairns.
I think Devine more, actually. I'm gonna say he's saying it's a push in the back, which is, you can see, obviously we're watching the footage here on BBC Alba. They've just showed a perfect replay. So if Falkirk score for this, we get to show the contentious decision, don't we?
Spencer clips it into the back post. It's too awkward for Henderson to deal with.
That's a strange delivery for me. Even if he wins the header there, he's obviously going to head it back across the goal. But it's such a difficult place to win the header. That's it. I'm gonna have one ear open listening to Stephen Craig's commentary as well, and he's highlighting how Alloa have the height advantage, but we're not doing well for corners so far.
But I think when they're floated into an area it's an area that Alloa don't really need to worry about too much. To put enough pressure on Henderson, there's nothing he can do with the header. If it's floated in the 6-yard box and you're not winning your headers, maybe you've got a discussion to have, but that one that's at the back post of Henderson, I think Alloa do enough to put him off. And Falkirk through McCann, slice it out for a throw into Alloa. Mitch Taggart back into right back. Second start since coming back from injury. Still a wee bit rusty, Taggart, but that will come with games, and I think it's just what you have to expect with it. A pre-season under his belt. As Skugel latches onto it, he looks to slip through Stephen. It's well read by Donaldson though. Just a wee glimpse there of Taylor Stevens' pace.
And there's something that we need. We obviously need somebody running in behind with that pace. We thought, I mean, we did think Kieran Offord might have been the one to come back, but obviously he's went to Edinburgh.
Yeah, by all accounts started quite well. Not sure if he's got numbers on his record yet, but seems to be catching the eye. And a poor Edinburgh side, I probably would caveat that with.
Yeah. I wonder if there's a bit of a
yeah. Guaranteed game time. That was good from Coulson, just shifting to find himself a half yard of space on his left foot. Easily blocked, and then by Donaldson. But Alloa will have their first corner kick, and let's see if they can take advantage of this height that they've got camped in the 6 yard box. Neil makes a late dart in. Salmon gets the flick on, and it will be cleared by the visitors. Taggart heads it back into the danger area. Skugel out on the right hand side. Here is Stevens, shifts it over to the left. It's easily dealt with. He's got another crack at it. Hetherington lines it up, tame and easily blocked. Alloa continue to keep possession though as Neil is a wee bit wayward. Yeah, now Falkirk can hit Alloa on the break, or Hetherington can hit Falkirk. And that he does. It's his second foul of the afternoon, and I'd imagine he's already probably at last chance saloon in terms of going into the book.
Yeah, I don't think it's the worst challenge I've ever seen for Steve Hetherington. Avoids the yellow, but I mean Morgan Newell again. Oh, almost a horrible mistake to let Falkirk get a 4v3 break on there. And this is the kind of mistakes that have blighted the beginning of our season. We're giving away really, really soft goals under no real pressure. And I mean, we've seen Falkirk, they've struggled to get penalties in recent seasons, but we've been given away hand over fist.
Yeah, 3 in the opening 3 games in the league, 1 in the League Cup as well.
Debayo.
Yeah, Debayo's just been done there, and he's had to hold down Morrison, causing problems, Callum Morrison, with his quick feet, and Debayo goes into the book for that one.
Very harsh, obviously. He's just the unlucky one who's then made a foul, but he doesn't do very much. I don't think he kicks out massively. We're going to see the replay just now. Well, I suppose you can see it on that one.
Slightly cynical from Josh Debayo, nowhere near the ball, and it'll be an opportunity for Spencer of Falkirk to whip it in. Miller also stands over it. Will be Miller to whip it in with the left foot. It's a decent looking ball. Alloa win it though, and stays alive for Falkirk through Morrison. Back to Spencer in the position of the free kick. Miller 1-on-1 against Skugel, beats him for pace. Calvin Miller driving into the box, clips it across. It's to Morrison, and he's not got the right connection on that. It's over the bar from Callum Morrison, but what an opportunity for Falkirk to take the lead.
Yeah, wonderful. And this is what I was saying, you have McKeever up front who is going to be really good in the air, but the 3 players behind, they're all live wires, they're all exciting, and you saw it there, Calvin Miller again with the quick turn of pace, and the ball into Morrison, who I think I mean, on paper, when he signed for Hearts, everybody thought he would be a wonderful signing, would catapult Falkirk to the League One title. Never quite worked like that, but I don't think he's had the players around him. Maybe this is the season where it's different.
Oh, Scougall takes a nasty blow to the back of the head from Morrison. Don't think he's meant it. Two players going for the ball, and Scougall is the one that comes off worse.
Well, Coulson's coming over and saying there's not a lot in that, to be fair. I thought he'd caught up with the feet. But yeah, Scoog's just quicker. So Morrison might have him in the ground race, but in the foot race, Scoog's very quick.
Just catches him with the back of the arm, Morrison.
But not an awful lot in that.
Devine looking for Salmon. It's cleared only as far as Roberts. He just can't quite kill it. Hetherington keeps it alive though, lays off Roberts. Taggart supporting, he'll deliver. Salmon's at the front post, he makes it awkward. Coulson goes for it straight away, and it's just wide of the post. Many thought he would take a touch. He's smashed it at first go, and it's not too far away of the post. I think Sam Long might have had it covered, but that's the positions that Coulson's able to pick up when he's not quite in a front to it. You can see him drifting to the left again. It's good from Scougall. Now Stephen out to Coulson. DeBio's on the overlap. Quick feet from Coulson, twisting and turning, lays off DeBio. He'll send a low cross in, and it's cleared easily by Falkirk, but Devine gets there first. Second ball goes to Agyeman though, and here come Falkirk, so dangerous on the break. McKeever on the right hand side.
Easy.
Yeah, easily dealt with by Neil, and Hetherington reads it well and hooks it down the line.
Relative 1v1.
Oh, Donaldson's header's a dangerous one. Salmon's unlucky not to capitalise.
I was trying to get it out. Relative 1v1. It was again 1v1 with Salmon, 1v1 with Taylor. Or Taylor Stephen. It was Stephen. I keep wanting to say Stephen Taylor.
Who's also a striker, no? I think. But
I just remember, was it Stephen Taylor was a Newcastle one? Was he the fullback? I feel like that's the one I remember.
Yes,
Anyway, big moment, and Salmon's control. I mean, it's the bane of his life at points, and that could have easily been Salmon in on goal. Falkirk no dealing with that confidently at all. And we've quietened the Falkirk fans finally. We're
a couple of half chances there for Alloa, just giving them a wee bit of a boost.
And 17 minutes in, I think the Wasps have got the television buff back on, because they normally do well on the telly. Famous last words though.
First game of League One broadcasted on BBC Alba. There's Falkirk with Lang back to Long, and he'll sporting a very bright retro goalkeeper kit, Sam Long. Here's Agyeman dropping deep. He's got Hetherington for company. Holds him off with relative ease, and Falkirk look to come forward again. It's a searching ball for Finn Yates. Stephen Scougall just about deals with him for now. Cross comes in from Morrison, and Devine picks up a good position.
A chance for DeBio to go on one of these weird mazy runs as well.
And he's done well. He says he's been pulled back, nothing given. Alloa keep possession. The referee does have a free kick. He does have his hand up for advantage.
Yeah. He says that though, and I wonder who's told him, because I think he wasn't given anything. He certainly hadn't seen anything. But one of them, and it's not been pulled back either, but one of them is quite cynical, because if you're breaking like that, you have the opportunity to get the overload on that side of the park, but it just slows the game down and just breaks up a promising attack, which obviously is a yellow offence.
Yeah, and I think that's what the manager Brian Rice is demonstrating to Ross Clark, the fourth official. DeBio's just got too tight there to Agyeman, but Devine really well covered from Devine, and he's actually knocked it off of the oncoming Agyeman to get the throw in favour of the home side. Debayo's just got to be careful getting so tight to Agyeman. 1 for his pace and 2 because he has picked up that early yellow card. Donaldson intercepted by Salmon, and Roberts can spread the play out to the right. Taggart looks to go long for Stephen. Hard ball for the youngster to deal with. Neil just beaten to it by Agyeman, and it's switched out, and Yates will do well to keep it in.
Yeah, thankfully, I think the water obviously helping that ball slide along the park and stop Falkirk exploiting that gaping hole on their right hand side. Alloa's left. I always think it does play better when it is a bit of rain. Not had that luck so far.
Agyeman's done well to dispossess Debayo, and Falkirk can have a chance to hook it into the box with Morrison. McKeever looks to lay off Agyeman. Still Alloa fail to clear their lines. And it will keep coming back with Spencer now. Out to Miller. He's driving down the left-hand side, cuts it across goal, and it's Hetherington that's occupying the space to clear. And Morgan Neal will just see that one out for a goal kick. 20 minutes. We're well over 20 minutes now. And the score remains Alloa 0, Falkirk 0. I think that man Brian Rice will be fairly content with the way his side have started this game. Just one glaring opportunity for Agyeman that was well saved by Morrison. I can hear through the corner of my ear Stephen Craigan talking about the potential of Devaney maybe coming on for Debayo before he gets sent off. That will probably be the most obvious substitute, but I think he's playing well. It's just that fear of what seems to be becoming a little bit of a trend this season.
There was safety first last week as well, because it wasn't just Debayo that, or wasn't it just Morgan Neal that got got taken off after a yellow card. Devaney as well sort of lashed out in an awkward challenge, and you thought to yourself, well, let's no risk anything, let's take him off as well. I do think Debayo, Graham, and I think it was Roberts and Skugel all picked up yellows as well.
I think we've got 7 yellow cards.
I think it was 6 for me. I remember putting in 6 last week, Kieran, so sorry.
And Hetherington wasn't one of them.
No, exactly.
But here's Agyeman, good strength.
Morrison away as well.
Agyeman, yep, and Falkirk attack with intent. Morrison picks it up. It is on that left foot. It's well held by his namesake, PJ Morrison. And the Alloa goal. Alloa get the game underway again with Debayo looking to go down the line. Yates intercepts it, and Coulson does well to pick the pocket of Henderson, and he's had his own pocket picked. And Falkirk back in possession with Agyeman. Really good turn there, dropping the shoulder on the half turn. Agyeman, he's just crowded out by black and gold shirts though. Coulson back into Debayo. Connor Salmon looking to hold the ball up. He's lost out though, and Falkirk back in possession with McCann. Henderson stepping into the Alloa half, switches it out. Henderson now. Over to Spencer. Open to scoring on Tuesday night. Here's Calvin Miller. It's not the best of balls though. Getting a lot of joy on the wings, Falkirk, most so on this right hand side. You can see DeBayo's more naturally a centre half than a left back. You can see Skugel and Coulson coming over to help cover, and it's hard when you're picking up Callum Morrison.
I will say, I think originally he was signed as a left back. Queen of the South just had their so many problems at centre half that they played him there for the majority of his spell. Certainly not a position that I think he's no unnatural in, as well. I'll say it's just the quality of the opposition he's up against is giving him a torrid time.
Yeah. The 2 number 8s will chase that ball down.
Well done. Roberts has done it.
Yeah, will be an Alloa throw in. Brad Spencer has, I think he is a quality signing for this division. I actually said on the podcast this week that I'd probably say he's the best player in the league. Not quite done anything just yet, but yeah, just think he's for League One, I think he's just a very good midfielder.
Yeah, one of the surprising, the signings from Wraith Rovers were surprising, to be honest. Obviously new investment coming into them. Do you know that I've not kept up with any of the scores, Kieran, because of all the technical problems we've had here, but do you know what the Dunfermline Wraith game was?
Yeah, it was 1-0 to Wraith Rovers away to Dunfermline.
So maybe they've not even downgraded.
Yeah, it was Sam.
Skugel, what a challenge! Fantastic challenge. The referees, no, that's perfect. Absolutely nothing wrong with that. You need to watch the replay of this, Kieran, and give me your verdict, because this is, as far as I'm concerned, a perfect challenge. Yeah, he's got the ball clean. Absolutely clean, eh? And the guy's made contact with I think his body as opposed to his legs. So
yeah, young Yates winning the free kick there, but maybe a wee bit lucky. Here's Miller, cuts it back into Henderson, back out to Spencer. Space on that left hand side for McCann to put the ball into the box. Henderson back across goal, and Morrison, he gets a clean contact on it, but it's wide of the post. Well wide of the post.
I was going to say overhit, but no challenge came from whoever was marking at the back post, and it went back across. Thankfully, I don't think Morrison could have squeezed it through Morgan Neal, who was fully in the way. So as much as it was a nervous wee moment here in the press box, I think we were safer than it looked. That shot from behind the goal, perfect. Oh well.
Again, it's Falkirk that just win the back possession almost immediately. Ross McKeever dropping deep, looking to go down the line for Morrison. DeBayo thought he might have been able to clip it off of Morrison, but he's done his job. It's a throw in. Skugel. He gets something on it. We'll go out for a corner kick. Not the cleanest of connections.
No. Rain pelting it down again, so.
Yeah, it's become a bit of a horrible night here in Alloa.
Maybe give Skugel the benefit of the doubt. I was looking at his boots as well. He's been wearing those boots for a good few seasons.
100 appearances he's been wearing them.
It's one of them's got a hole in it as well. So don't know if you'll catch that on BBC Alloa, but keep an eye out for that.
Jack Grealish-esque. But it will be Calvin Miller to take the corner kick. Morrison's camped at the edge of the box, and PJ Morrison gets caught out, and he's still on the ground. It's now Callum Morrison whose shot's blocked. Our Morrison, PJ, shrugs his shoulders. Not sure if he's complaining to the referee or if he's just complaining at himself. A replay on it here. Gets caught in a sea of players. I think he just slips, PJ Morrison, but it's Skugel that gets the vital block. Falkirk look to switch it over, and it's well intercepted by Coulson. And now he can run down this left-hand side. He's got pace, as does Yates, to be fair to him, but Coulson does well to cut it back. It's Skugel, blocked. Stephen can't get the ball under control, but Skugel, Roberts,
that's fine.
It's a great tackle from Roberts. And Coulson on the left-hand side can find the ball into the box, can he?
Yeah,
he's
made the
done
space
really
better.
well.
Yes,
Skugel, what a save from Sam Long. He pulled off a wonder save against the Beanos on Tuesday. That nearly matches it. Fantastic chance, matched by a fantastic save.
And great feet as well. I mean, I say the chance is going to be over now. It's that number 11, Stephen, on the far side. Can he control it? Wonderful. And I'm going to wait for the minute so I can watch the actual live feed on the telly, because that was brilliant stuff. Coulson, I think he suits being on the wing more than he does playing through the middle.
Yeah.
He certainly brilliant wing play on display here, and great play between him and Skugel.
Absolutely. It was Coulson that intercepted it deep into his own half, and just that pace and driving forward and a lovely awareness to cut it back to Skugel. And we thought the chance had gone. Got to give the credit to Curtis Roberts as well for a crunching tackle to keep it alive, but no reward.
Yeah, good feet as well for Stevie Hetherington. Well, a fit from Falkirk comes in and nullifies it. Falkirk have possession again.
And there's a slip from Tabayo, and Morrison's driving into the box. He passes it across, and Calvin Miller is there for the easiest of finishes. It's moments after Alloa so close to taking the lead. And Falkirk capitalise on that slip, and Calvin Miller opens the scoring.
And you know how it goes, Kieran, isn't it? Just to be expected. You miss an opportunity, and Falkirk punish you.
I don't think he'll have an easier finish in his whole career. It's all in the pass from Morrison on the right hand side. But Alloa can't be too disheartened. They've got to find a way back into this game. Free kick will go in the Wasps' favour.
I always think as well, I would say for Falkirk, when you've got such a pacey team as they do, it suits them to score the first goal. Draws teams out, means they need to come out and play against Falkirk, leave spaces in behind. And you can see for the corner here, Morrison's sitting on the halfway line. Well,
Skugel takes it short. He's just about
it's Skugel that's caught late there as well.
Yeah, and he's really hurt Stefan Skugel, but Alloa will continue as they try to carve open an opportunity. It's too long for Taylor Stephen, no. And now Skugel can get any treatment that he needs.
I mean, it's a 50-50 there, but Skugel wins the ball and then gets absolutely clattered. Full-blooded stuff with Falkirk.
An opportunity for Falkirk to get a little bit of advice from John McGlynn. Here is that goal again as Callum Morrison just rolls it into the 6-yard box, and Calvin Miller's never missing that. Seems a calf issue. for Scugo. There's a sore one in the back of the Achilles. He's up, he's on his 2 feet. And I think we've just got the thumbs up that he will be able to continue it. I'll give it a go anyway. Back underway here with McCann on the left. And Scugo returns to play. Seems to be moving about all right. It'll just take him a couple of strides to run that one off. Miller on the left hand side, intercepted by Roberts. He's in a bit of an awkward situation though. Falkirk back in possession. Here's McCann. Intercepted by Taggart, and now Alloa can look to hit on the break. Good recovery from Roberts. Still there with Taggart. Has to turn back on himself, but keeps possession well, and Hetherington can now spread the play over to the left hand side to Coulson. Good feet from Coulson over to DeBayo. Hetherington looking for options, sends it long. Donaldson will send it back to where it came from. And Ross McKeever doing what he's so good at, getting his body in behind the player. And Sam Long will hook that one forward, to be contested by Taggart, who gives Falkirk a taste of their own medicine, much to the frustration of the Falkirk fans.
Yeah, pantomime villain right there.
It's an awkward ball, and it's well won by McKeever, but Hetherington tracking back well, intercepts. Donaldson, he might be caught out here by Sam, and he is, but he gets away with it, and it's great feet from Yates, and Coulson is quite late. He is going to go into the book. Finn Yates just so quick off the mark there. And
he's been impressive. I've quite liked, obviously, Falkirk fans calling out for a right back early on in the season. But he's stepping up to the plate, marking his place in the first team.
Yeah, I mean, he's obviously signed as a central midfielder from Aberdeen, but he's, what, 18 years old? You can't have a defined position by 18 years old.
Even then, I think if you've only got one defined position, then you're not very versatile, you're not a very good player.
Yeah, and I think Finn Yates is, on paper, you would say, is the weak point in this team, but absolutely not the case.
No, exactly. I mean, we've seen it as well with midfielders turn right backs. John Robertson, obviously deputising at that position brilliantly as Aggerman heads it down.
Yeah, it's cleared eventually by Alloa. We'll tick into nearly 40 minutes on the clock. Salmon lays it off to Neil. It's long and hopeful and wasteful from Neil.
Yeah, wasteful is definitely the word. Definitely the word.
That's a long, awkward ball, and Morrison looked for a second like he might not get it, but it has bounced favourably into his hands. Here's DeBayo. Coulson traps it well. He's crowded out, but he's done well to get it forward to Skugel. Skugel will give it back to him on the left-hand side. Coulson got 2 men on him. Should win a free kick. Nothing given by the referee. Strange decision by Callum Scott. And Agyeman will come forward, clipped by Hetherington. That one not given either.
Well, it was one of them where Hetherington had put him off balance. And Agyeman knew the ball was going to run away from him, so he just went down in the hope that he could manage to get the free kick. And the referee calls it perfectly there. And calls that well as well, because Stephen Hetherington holds the ball up well, he gets pushed over. What's happening is I'm actually giving referee a bit of praise.
Doesn't stick with Stephen up front, and Falkirk win the ball back. They'll switch it over to Finn Yates. And they're making Taylor Stephen work for his debut. As he'll shuffle over to the left to now press. It's cut into Miller.
You see Falkirk just with the control of the ball, knocking it about comfortably.
It feels like they've got an extra man in the park at points. I think it's Liam Henderson plays such a good role in that. Brad Spencer the same. They're always deep and given an option.
But listen, that's why you play 5 in midfield. They've got McKeever as an outlet. I mean, they didn't use him there. Oh, well over hit. I don't know if that was meant for Morrison, but
it's Morrison that's collected
perfect
it.
Ball
and McKeever can't quite connect to double Falkirk's lead. Neither can Miller.
And that's when you've got these live wires, you need to double up on them. But even escaping 2 players there to get the cross in, that's where the quality for this Falkirk side lies.
PJ Morrison with the goal kick, launches it forward. It's towards a Falkirk player, and they'll immediately look to hit Alloa on the break. It's really good from Taggart though. Looked like Miller had beaten him for pace. Coulson with a good turn there. He's asking a lot of DeBayo.
Oh well, that's late. And that should be another yellow as well, because it's a late one. Yep, yeah, will come out.
Finn Yates.
There's consistency there.
It was a hard ball for DeBayo to get to. It shows his pace as well.
He definitely has a ton of pace, because I thought Morrison had done him earlier, and he recovered. So maybe just not quite the same acceleration, but top speed wise, I think he's well up there.
Skugel, the sole man left over the free kick. He is going to go long. I think Alloa had originally wanted to take it short, but now Skugel will launch it into the box. Towards the back post, towards Morgan Neal.
Alloa ball as well, it should be.
Come off a Falkirk head, corner kick as we count down to half time.
I think unlucky for a lot of the Falkirk fans looking at some of the attire on show. It was a fine summer's day when everybody rocked up into Alloa. It is no longer. And quite a few of them looking absolutely sodden out there, as they do the players.
Hetherington's battling with Morrison. Nothing given for that either. Great recovery from Taylor Stephen. He'll launch it into Salmon. It's a good recovery header from Lang. Good battling from the St Johnstone low knee.
Well, we were promised that. Certainly living up to the reviews so far. Putting his cell about. Obviously, he's not had any training with the team so far, so dropped my cell into the team. Still time to get used to his teammates, but looking the part so far.
It's Miller. They've got an overlap here with Yates as well. Miller drives inside, looks to cut back on the left. Just about gets away with it and is able to keep possession. Spencer into the box now. McKeever goes back the way. Yates. Falkirk just teasing the Alloa defence, looking for a way to get the ball into the box, and they've just passed it out the park. They will launch it forward, and again that one's just found its way out into the dugout area. Donaldson will give the ball to Yates to take. Eventually. No, we're still... Is that a free kick?
Your guess is as good as mine. I think some of the players are a bit...
bewildered.
Exactly, that is the word.
That doesn't matter as Miller in possession, cuts it back, and that's fired back at Miller. Controls it well. Spencer. Morrison. Over on the right to Yates. Low cross. And McKeever doesn't make any contact with it. Goes out for a goal kick. Another half chance. BBC Alba focusing on argument. I was going to say I was pretty sure it was McKeever that was maybe the main target. But probably both of them. More so McKeever though.
Just another moment with that low driven ball, causing all kinds of problems. That's obviously how the goal came about. The bonus is keeping the ball on the deck, especially in these slippy conditions.
Stephen, it's not the greatest of first touches, but can't quite able to latch onto the second ball either. Oh,
Devine got that wrong.
Yeah, but DeBayo's covered for him, and Coulson does well. Skuggo putting the pressure on. Falkirk go back the way, and that's smart play there from Lang, stepping out defence, giving it to McCann.
Look how much space McCann gets as well. Crossing.
Yeah, it's not a bad one. Devine decides to flick it back. Morrison's there. Spencer's at the edge of the box. Goes into the 6-yard box and cleared by Alloa. Only as far as McCann though. And we'll keep this attack alive for the Bairns with Morrison. Left foot of Morrison into the area, and it's all the way to the back post, and it's another tap in, and it's Alfredo Aguiman that's the man that's done it. It's Morrison's ball once again, causing problems in the Alloa box, and similar to Calvin Miller, Aguiman has one of the more simpler finishes.
Well, the crosses cutting Alloa apart now. I was going to say just before the crosses went in, it seems like it's only a matter of time. And so it proved to be. The onslaught for Falkirk cut back along the byline, and it just unlocks the Alloa defence. Just before half time, that's a demoralising goal to lose. Getting at half time at 1-0, maybe you can regroup over the interim period, but 2-0 down, game swiftly going away. Falkirk fans in fine voice, and that's grim for the Wasps.
It's been a tough half for Alloa, and it's all to do in the second half. And that will be half time. It's right on the stroke of half time that Alfredo Aguiman's doubled Falkirk's lead. Similar goals. One was a cross on the deck, one was a cross floated in. Calvin Miller and Alfredo Aguiman, the welcome recipients of the goals. And like I say, it's all to do in the second half for the Wasps.
Weatherton knocking it along. What do you think we need to do for the second half? How are we going to combat this Falkirk team who's well into their stride now?
It was such a killer right on the half-time mark to go a goal down, because I think Alloa actually competed fairly well in the first half. They obviously had a wee spell where Skugel came close. But it's just so hard. I just think Falkirk are a very well-drilled, dangerous team on the counter-attack, and Alloa don't seem to have that prowess going forward.
And again, I think this is one of the problems that Connor Salmon, in terms of his footballing abilities, I think he's definitely reaching the end of his career as a professional. Nothing sticking up there today against what is a very able back line in Tom Lang and Cole Donaldson.
I just wonder what Brian Rice does. He's got a squad of 26. It's a big squad, and there's not a very settled partnership that you can rely upon for goals.
I think there might be a bit we will want to put Rodden in either. Rodden was injured this week, so he's not trained all week. So as much as he's on the bench, I think he might just be a body as opposed to being fully fit. That's just the unfortunate way of it. And I don't know who else you bring on, because you look at the team and you're looking at kids. We spoke about Devaney as much as he got positive reviews from Airdrie, still very much a youngster.
Morrison comes away off his line, clatters into the back of the Falkirk head, but thankfully for him it bounces past his post, and I'm sure he'll get a nice warm welcome as he
over that side, yeah, exactly,
in front of the Falkirk fans.
No.
Still waiting to take it, PJ Morrison. And he's well loved. We'll go out for a Falkirk throw in.
Morrison up against Devine. Devine does enough.
Cleared in. Again, it's just not sticking for Alloa up front. It's funny that we've swapped to this diamond, but the midfield don't really seem to be involved in the game too much. It's getting passed by them a fair amount.
I think as well, when you play such a narrow formation, I mean, Brian Rice wants to play two up front. That's something we see as non-negotiable. As Morrison's in behind.
Yeah, good covering from Morgan Neal.
Chance not over though. Morrison. Left-footed cross, that's easy to take. Thankfully on his left foot, nice floated one. This time not got the range to go to that back post and get cut back by any late runs for Brad Spencer. But yeah, it's that narrow sort of formation. I mean, I think we have tried to give the width with the wing backs now. I think
it's a good flick on there from Salmon. Sorry to interrupt, but no. Looked like Taylor Stephen might nip in, but it's good from Sam Long.
See in the foreground of this shot just now how far the bio is up. He's definitely playing as a wing back now. Roberts is going to do the same on the right hand side, and it will be a back three. It's going to call into question Devine and I'll say Hetherington as well. Calvin Miller and Morrison are going to have a big impact in this second half.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting to see how Curtis Roberts does in the so tenacious Curtis Roberts, but how he does disciplined as a right wing back.
He did switch with Kevin Colley in the Stirling Albion game, so try to give Kevin.
It's good feet there from Spencer. Fancies the shot down the throat of Morrison. He spills, and it's just about cleared. Still alive for Falkirk. Very weak claims for a penalty, and weak claims for a free kick on the Alloa side. So it's, as you were, Falkirk attacking on this right hand side.
No doubt we were going to get a replay of that, but I think Taggart sort of Hath goes for the lunge for the first one, and then Morrison beats him to the ball, and then he's so off balance he falls over the top of him. But yeah, Morrison with the awkward one does enough.
Yeah, it's a good reactions from Morrison to get up quickly and block it. Give Morrison the benefit of the doubt in this sort of weather.
Yeah. I mean, he was claiming the contact though, so I'm not sure there was too much of.
Skubbo does well, spreads it out to Taggart.
There's a battle with Roberts wide, Coulson, nearly cross in.
He cuts into the front post. You'd want a striker just to be bursting there and making that run.
I wonder if he was just trying to win the corner myself. When you put it that close to the goalkeeper, I think there's only going to be one winner. One winner. I did give my own tactical advisory in Pine Bovril. And I would like to see us go back to playing 4-5-1 and trying to have that domination in the middle of the park and being able to be wide as well. I don't think you get a massive amount at the minute for the two strikers. I mean, listen, Taylor Stephen. I'll wait for Skugel. Yeah,
Skugel's done well, and it's Long's turn to have a little spill, but easily dealt with in the end. Yeah, it's interesting. Alloa's glittered with talent in the midfield once they're all fit. Once you add the likes of O'Donnell and Vertonen back in there as well, but it's strikers that we're struggling with.
Yeah, and that's what I think to myself as well. If you're struggling with strikers, well, you can probably let's just play one of them. I mean, we're relying on two turning up every week and bringing a performance. But stack that with the midfielders that can win you the ball back and play them in. Or whoever is up front.
Yeah, definitely would agree with you. Henderson, you can see John McGlynn, or you can't see him just now, but he was showing his frustration at that ball not being released earlier from Liam Henderson as he sheepishly walks away from his manager. Hetherington just getting a talking to from the referee. Seems strange considering he won the ball cleanly.
Yeah, the original. Kevin Colley. Again, this is a player who's not trained all week. His one, though, I don't think it's any fitness-related issues. He's just not been able to get out his day off work because training this week was a Monday and a Wednesday. So I think the management team could watch Falkirk Stirling on Tuesday. But it didn't help Kevin out because he's not been available to train.
Yeah, Kevin Colley will be coming on. Be interesting to see who he's replaced by, what position he's deployed in, if he is going to join this midfield, or if we're going to see him swap out into the right wing back. It will be Quinn Coulson coming off. He had a strong first half. Quinn Coulson was the architect of Alloa's biggest opportunity of the game.
And again, we're talking about strikers. Well, I think Kevin Colley certainly playing behind the front two. That's one of his strongest positions. Started playing with Alloa, Stevie May leading the line, and Kevin Colley doing all that good work behind him. But it's whether he can do the same with Salmon and Stephen.
Yeah, we're looking for something a little bit different in that final third. Let's hope the magician can give us that. As Morrison will keep that in, drags it back in, and he's got Devine one-on-one, will whip it in with his left foot. It's a free header for Agyeman. He's got it all wrong. Alfredo Agyeman, head and hands. Oh, they should be doing better.
I missed that game, so I'll take your word for it. Behind the pillar for me. I'll see it now, I guess.
That's the thing with Agyeman, he's just so raw, isn't he? And I don't think he'll ever not be raw. You just don't know if it's going to be put into the top corner or put into the train station. But he causes problems. He's a nuisance and always has been for defences to deal with. Neil hoofs it back to the Falkirk defence. They'll head it back, and it's just having a game of long range tennis at the moment. McKeever does well to keep possession for his side, lays it back to Yates.
Great cross.
Yeah, it's a good ball, hoisted in, cleared well by Taggart, and now Colley gets his first touches of the game. Not great. And DeBayo shoves down.
And again, this is the moment when you do think to yourself, this is the time for Devaney to come on. One of these moments when another foul picked up by DeBayo on the yellow as the cross comes in. Well, it's a continued onslaught for the Falkirk fans. They can enjoy the scene close up, the action at their end of the park. And it just doesn't help when your senior players like Kevin, and I've said this, that he does not had a pre-season, when they're off the pace and off their touches, just invites more pressure on us as this corner comes in.
Yeah, it's taking a sore one for Alloa, but they'll just have to get up and deal with it if Donaldson's header's out for a goal kick. It's not a great corner from Miller as Taggart hoists it forward, looking, I don't know who he's looking for it, but it's towards none of the Alloa front two. An argument.
I think Roberts picked the wrong side. Taggart comes and just shields him off as he drives to the byline.
Good experience defending there from Scott Taggart. Have to say he's looking a lot more assured than the last couple of weeks. I think he's finally, I say finally, it's not been that long. I think he is getting back to.
I mean, only I would say that he's made a few mistakes. Obviously, the glaring one was last week. Kelty miscontrolling that ball. But I think in terms of the midfield, in terms of the defence, he's probably the most confident one, even though he's maybe not at the peak of his powers just yet. Like you say, today, again, he's looked very assured, very confident. But that's it. We've only seen him defending. We'd maybe like to see him being up the other end, how we used to have a rampaging right back. He's struggled to fulfil that role.
He wasn't really able to venture forward too much in the first half either. That's a poor throw in from Falkirk, and it maybe will give Alloa the opportunity. And Salmon just
though, it's again trying to accelerate up to speed, and bad touches. Painful stuff, and the attacks just keep on coming. It's going to be the foot race between Devine and Morrison. The ball wins it though.
Brian Rice just encouraging his defensive line to get a little bit further up. It's been a half so far with no chances for Alloa. Not the reaction that Brian Rice would have wanted in the second half.
I mean, there's moments like Skugel nipping in there that with a header that you hope finally Salmon will get the break of the ball. And as I say that, it's just no holding up there at all. And I do wonder if Kevin Colley is sitting up front, where he can possibly make an impact, is a better option, because it's just the touches for Salmon are way off.
Here's Yates into the box, well read though by Skugel. I have to say, I think Skugel's probably the one that's acquitted himself the best out of the Alloa team this afternoon.
Yeah.
You
can see the little lump though. I do worry how long has he got left in the game. The grimace.
Yeah, it's normally about this time to be fair for Skugel, but he's been in the wars again. Normally is. Corner. It's headed straight out by, I think, Donaldson once more. Morrison launches it forward. Salmon again will go into battle. Looked like he controlled that one well and takes a tumble. It's good from Neil, just controlling it, giving Alloa a chance to have have a little bit of possession here with Skugel. Now on to the left of Devayo. He's going to have to be the furthest man forward on the wing. They look down the wing looking for options, but
it's very one-dimensional stuff. That's the thing that I'm looking at. I'm looking at where are the options. Well, there's only one player given the option. Skugel's trying to run in behind, but Stevie Hetherington is the only one who can really be played into feet.
Neil recovers well, knocks it off
credit for that.
Morrison. It will be a throw in for Falkirk. Yeah, I think you're right.
They
look tired. They look tired to make these runs, and they shouldn't be, but it will be an opportunity for Devaney to come on.
12 Skugel.
For Skugel, yeah. Makes sense. He's the one that, like you said, had a little bit of a grimace.
Now, everyone I feel like they will just shift over because, well, I say that.
Yeah,
where's Devaney going?
Looks like Devaney's going to be playing on the right hand side, unless he'll swap over once the throw in's taken.
I imagine they will. Debayo would go centre half. Roberts is obviously going to step in back in the middle of the park.
Yep, we know Devaney's quality from crosses. It's been a tough couple of weeks for him. In and out the team. Still on this right hand side. McKeever's pass is intercepted by Devine, and he's just got caught, but he's still going Devine. Eventually Falkirk look to get it forward, but Neil does well and then passes it out, and it will be a Falkirk throw in.
We haven't seen Devaney come out, so he's going to play a wing back with the wrong feet, so is this an opportunity for him to cut in and try and have a strike? We're really getting bogged down in the middle of the field.
Yeah, Falkirk have just got 2 men for every Alloa midfielder, and they just win possession as soon as Alloa get it.
We're getting the break of the ball though. There's 2 wee blonde boys, so I give the credit or the benefit of the doubt there. It's again though, slack. Morgan Neal almost getting punished. Oh, well,
it's not great defending.
Could have ended worse.
And somehow he gets away with it. And Calvin Miller really's got to be tucking that into the bottom corner.
If that post wasn't so battered, maybe I just saw that on the camera. The goalkeeper whacking their studs off the post. Maybe it just bounced the wrong way.
Will that give Alloa a little bit of a lift going into the final 35 minutes? Somewhat of a lifeline. And that's really poor defending from Alloa. They've let Ross McKeever in, and he flicks it over PJ Morrison, and he celebrates in front of his new supporters. We thought it might happen. He's been on red hot form, Ross McKeever, and he has come back to haunt the Wasps. It's Alloa 0, Falkirk 3.
Well, how did that develop? That's again the thing that I've got to look at here. Mismatch in the middle of the park. Is Brad Spencer in his own half? Yeah, it looks like very, very simple stuff. Wait there, why does the flag not go up here? Surely McKeever's standing over offside position.
I think McKeever might have been the one onside, and it was the other player that was offside.
I may have a look down the line here. There should be one of the cameras in line. I'm not dwelling on it too long on the outside broadcast. Yeah, unfortunate, and game gone. 63, 64 minutes in.
And this was at the 64th minute of the match.
Yeah, it's a tough lesson for Alloa, and it's only going to get harder because we've got Cove next week, followed by Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's a wee flurry of full-time teams for Brian Rice.
Well, that's it. I think another painful lesson for Alloa. And I don't know how you change it. That's the scary thing when you're looking at the teams this season. We've really shot ourselves in the foot in some of the games, but Falkirk have just been ahead of us.
Yeah, this game is just a game that just the better team are winning. I don't think you can look at Alloa mistakes as the root cause. Falkirk have never really been troubled this evening.
Calvin Miller need to come off as well. He went off the ball. Well, that looks like it's these kind of lunges that looks like cruciate ligament stuff. So you can easily mess your steps up and put too much pressure on that. And that's what I'm going to guess is what's wrong with Calvin Miller. So he might be a lengthy layoff by the look of him.
He's eventually getting support on a second shoulder. And it will be Aidan Nisbet that's going to be joining us. A rainy night in Alloa. And some Alloa fans have seen enough as they filter out the corner. There's confirmation, Calvin Miller, the goal scorer of the first one. And Aidan Nisbet comes on.
Substitution on the 67th minute of the game. Leaving the field through injury, number 29, Calvin Miller, being replaced by number 10, Aidan Nisbet.
And it's Falkirk that might be in. It's Aidan Nisbet right off the bench. It's good defending from Taggart to put him off. Fresh legs of Nisbet causing lost defence problems.
We're just too busy watching the fan annoyance because it's stuff getting chucked over the walls as the Falkirk fans are outside, the Alloa fans are outside.
It's just the stuff that we don't want to be talking about, but it's Falkirk in the box, it's bobbling about, it's a good save from Morrison. Still alive for the Bairns. Cross comes in, headed by McKeever the wrong way, and Devaney just hoists it long. Morrison with the ball clasped in his palms. Will look to go forward. It's a good save with the left foot there from PJ Morrison. It's well intercepted by David Devine. Falkirk back in safe possession. does he?
Just get us outside. You've not missed much. I was just looking what they were doing in the car park, so I was like, as long as they're no near Macca. Aye. Anyway, well, I suppose back to the game. The sideshow.
Yeah. It is McCann coming forward. He's got plenty of space. Agyeman drops it back into Henderson. Space on that right hand side for Morrison to drill it across, and it's an absolute fantastic ball. And I think it's Yates actually that threw himself at it, couldn't quite make a connection.
But I'll say this again, this is two formations you're seeing the different effects of. So I mean that 4-2-3-1, the two wide players can get further forward, and we're also getting full-backs because Alloa are so pinned in. Yates there trying to throw himself, being the last man. And I just think it does have the advantage over this 3-4-3 or whatever you want to call it. We're definitely going attacking here, but it's leaving big gaps now at this point in the game. And we're not getting any purchase with Connor Salmon. It's been a hard shift for him today because his touches has not worked out, and nothing's fell for him at all. He's not had the best wing play to be delivering balls into him either, so it's been a really hard day for whoever plays. Taylor Stephen as well. Saw the moments in the first half, but in the second half, how many touches has he had of the ball? No many, is it?
Nah, it's been a tough afternoon for Taylor Stephen, thrown right into the deep end. Hamilton have kept the pace up. Falkirk hot on their heels, and you kind of see in the opening month or so of the season, your two teams that are probably going to be battling for the title. Salmon does well to flick that one on, but it's good defending from Falkirk. More frustration for Stephen. McCann takes a knock from Colley, but eases away, and there's just, we're at the stage of the game that Falkirk are going to have so much space to do whatever they want. Morrison twisting, turning, does it once more, knocks it into Spencer, eventually will go right. Will the cross come in from Yates? It's deep. McKeever just uses his hands to push down Taggart. Free kick for the Alloa.
I will say one thing though, I don't think we've ever seen Alloa completely capitulate and been on the end of a really bad scoreline. As I think maybe the only time you could say that was the Hamilton playoff game. But Brian Rice's side in the past have been on the end of these big defeats. That's it. Not that I'm trying to summon it or anything, but I'm happy that today's not as bad as it could have been. It's certainly been demoralising to have, I'll say Ayr United, that non or dead rubber.
And it's Morrison that's driving into the box, and he's got it all wrong.
Goes out for a throw in the end.
Shown mercy there, Gil Morrison. Looks like he was actually trying to put it across goal for McKeever.
I think you're trying to show him some mercy. Going for goal myself, hitting it as hard as he possibly could.
I think we will get another substitute from Alloa in a second. Not quite yet. No, it's going to be Falkirk.
Jordan Allen,
Yep, Jordan Allen and
might well
Lowell.
Lowell, yep. I might be a riposte for Alloa, but aye. Who do you bring on? I'm looking at the Alloa bench and we'll see. Can't even get the ball up to the halfway line to see our technical area.
Falkirk, they go from distance, and it's trickles well wide of PJ Morrison's post. And it gives us a break to bring on Bradley Rodden and David Mackay.
Yeah, I wonder Salmon. That'd be my first bet. Probably Devine as well by the look of things.
Devine just having a little bit of a spat there with Callum Morrison, but he'll make his way off.
Just fresh legs, I'm going to say, because he's had a big shift out there.
Yep, it will be number 11, Taylor Stephen, on his debut. A tough afternoon for the youngster. He'll have better afternoons. Not trained with the squad yet. Like you say, thrown right into the deep end. And David Devine for David Mackay. And the substitutes for Falkirk: on is Lawal, Oliver and Allen. Off is Agiman, Morrison and McKeever. All three so influential in this dominant display from the visitors.
There's about 3 police cars in the car park and a police van.
Mackay just about deals with that, knocks it back to PJ Morrison. Here's Neil. Falkirk win it back, it's Nesbitt.
Well,
When it's not going well, it's not going well, and that includes up here in the streaming and the PA system as well.
Just been one of the days. And the Bio's doing it.
Yep, Josh DeBio just taking an awkward one, bounce to the head off the surface.
I think it was more the contact with Donaldson as his feet went for underneath him. But hey, we're still at least 3-0, and maybe things are going to just calm down for the remainder 12 minutes of the game, I hope. Yeah, maybe we'll get a wee consolation, a wee well, here we go.
Here we go, it's Devaney that's won it back. He's cut it into the box to Roberts, touch from Roberts, tame, and into the hands of Sam Long.
It's the problem when you have these moments in the game, you always, the feeling is you want to snatch at them, and I think that's exactly what Curtis Roberts is doing there. And again, you look at that opportunity, Kevin's taking a nice first touch, and then he's got really ambitious with trying the pass when he could have just laid it to Curtis Roberts to his right. Aye, it's one of them that we definitely need to think about how we're distributing the ball.
Yeah.
I think I've previously complained that we were too willing to go long to Salmon. We've seen all day today that it's just not holding up there. So we need to be more clever about how we're using the ball. And it doesn't help when you're passing about in seemingly comfortable situations, when you're Morgan Neal's taking a heavy touch and moments like that.
And it makes sense to add somebody to the midfield to take that weight off them.
Yeah.
Corner comes in, free header for Liam Henderson, wide of the post. And it's pretty much been attack against defence this second half. Alloa will look to get that consolation, like you said, Lewis, but not looking likely as Mackay gives it to Taggart, who'll knock it back to as goalkeeper again. We go long, and again Falkirk are the winners of that header. Nisbet. Well done from Hetherington though, and well done from Roberts. Pass is kept in by Devaney, does also well, and Hetherington draws in the foul from Spencer. Roberts coming a bit predictable from Alloa, and it's the same outcome as always for this afternoon's case. Falkirk will chase that down, but to no success. Yep, a torrid night here in Alloa, a torrid night weather-wise, and a torrid night on the goal. Score in front, but like you say, can we get a consolation to take into next week? Something to cheer about. Devaney, he's going to have to cross it with his right foot. He's not comfortable in doing so, and Falkirk will just win back possession, and that to me just doesn't make sense why he's playing on that right hand side if he's not got the confidence to whip it in with his right foot.
I know. I mean, we've seen the in-swing and crosses for Falkirk working their wonders, though. Maybe it's just a Brian Rice affectation. It's not going to be Taggart. It's left-hand side for some reason. Let's win the ball back. A wee bit of fight coming back to the Wasps as we go into the final 8 minutes or so of normal time.
Yeah, he's going to have time to shift it over to his left now if he wants.
Well, it's just he's getting marshalled into more and more Falkirk players. And I mean, you think it's just easier to put the players on their natural side. Yeah, just do the simple things. I think what me and you would like to see, Kieran.
Yeah, it's too easy. It's just no fun doing that. It's
well,
Colley. Yeah, he's dragged it wide of the post. I thought we were lining up. He scored against Falkirk with the BBC Alba cameras, and it was a lot harder chance than the one he's just had, but didn't get that one right. Oncoming defender Tom Lang probably does enough to put him off as well.
Yeah. And like I say, they didn't get much practice under the pressure of the games because we've just not been creating these chances. So it's another one, we've snatched it, we've dragged it wide. But again, Sam Long in goals, he's not had.
Yeah,
he's had that one wonderful save. I'll not say wonder save, but it's a wonderful save.
It's one that you probably expect him to make, but
still,
it's
still a good reflex,
yeah.
exactly. But yeah, game gone, and the substitutions maybe taking their effect on Falkirk as they, I'm not saying take their foot off the pedals. That's an easy foul on Colley.
Yep, and an opportunity to whip one into the box. It will be Curtis Roberts that goes over to take it. No Skugel, no Coulson, no Cammy O'Donnell.
Oh, mate. What? That's been fun.
It'll be Devaney actually to take it. We know he is a bit of a set piece specialist himself. Whips it in, Ewan Devaney. It's easily cleared. Hetherington keeps it alive. Roberts to Colley. Can we get something into the box? It's floated in and it's missed by Long, and Rodden gets the consolation goal for Alloa. Brad Rodden's second goal of the season. It's a typical poacher's finish from Bradley Rodden. It's Alloa 1, Falkirk 3.
And I've got to play the music when I can, Kieran. But Bradley Rodden, surely a consolation goal.
Yeah, Sam Long, who's been fairly efficient and reliable all game, gets that one completely wrong. And Rodden is the welcome striker there to tuck it home, and a lot of the goals this afternoon have been simple finishes. Yeah, it's a simple game at the end of the day. But yeah, probably won't mean very much. 3 or so minutes left of regular time. Maybe if that Ross McKeever goal hadn't gone in, we'd have a much more exciting final five, but a mountain to climb still for Alloa. And Leon McCann will go into the book for dissent. Not dissent, for time wasting. Maybe that supporter in front of me should have gotten into the book for dissent. I think that's what distracted me. Hetherington back into Neil. Lowell. He's asking a lot of Spencer. Will be a Falkirk throw in though. You see Stephen Craigan's given his man of the match to Callum Morrison, now on the bench. Not one of the ones on the score sheet, but assisted the first one, exactly. Pretty much made the second one as well. And Thorne in the Alloa side. Don't think you could have too much debate with Craigan there. Corner comes in. Morrison gets a good punch on it. Lowell will look to keep it alive. Oh, and everyone leaves it, and Falkirk are alive to it, and just about cleared in the end from Alloa.
Yep, we just give the ball right back. It's painful, painful stuff. We're not even making Falkirk nervous as we get into the final. You think you get a goal, maybe momentum will start to swing back, but not quite.
Mackay with the header. Colley should pick it up and be able to bring it down. Salmon does well. Oh, he's given away the foul and goes into the book as well. And it looks a bit of a sore one for Tom Lang. I think he'll be all right though. I think he just gets a palm to the head from Connor Salmon. And the referee will add 4 minutes of this game left. 4 minutes to the end of this game. And there will be the final kind of substitution for Falkirk. Liam Henderson off. On comes young Reese Walker.
Falkirk substitution in the 90th minute +1, leaving the field is play number 5, Liam Henderson. He replaced by number 32, Reese Walker.
Roberts. His ball's intercepted, and Devaney's headers into no man's land in terms of black and gold shirts. A tough afternoon to take positives from an Alloa perspective.
No, not one to remember long.
Here's Lowell. Oh, great feet from Lowell, and it's a fantastic finish. He's shown real class and composure there, Lowell, and he's put the cherry on the cake for Falkirk with their 4th goal. Excellent play from the substitute Walker as well, but it's all in the final product from Lowell, piling more misery on Alloa. Alloa 1, Falkirk 4.
Yeah, and we're having our fair share of misery today, because again it's individual errors. Mackay there missing the ball. Alloa can dive in between two players with that gift and place it in the bottom corner. And just when I say it looked like we were getting into a sort of comfortable end of the game where Falkirk were happy to sit in what they had, were punished again with another painful goal, and it pads Falkirk's goal difference, which might come in handy coming at the end of the season. And the opposite so for the Wasps, it's going to really leave them in a struggling position as Roberts tries to pick out salmon and misses that entirely.
Yeah, it's been such a demoralising half. I know we've had the goal, but it's a half that we've really not been involved in at all.
And again, I know I say a frustrating thing for us to see when the substitute comes on. You think, maybe fresh legs, nice opportunity for him to sort of bring back his position in the first team after getting sent off and maybe losing the game against Alloa. And if you pin it all on that one moment, but David Mackay, he's not had a great show in there either.
Here's Taggart looking for one more for an Alloa persuasion, and it's straight down the throat of Sam Long, and it's an evening to forget for Brian Rice and Alloa. They've fallen victim to Falkirk, 4-1. It's strikes from Calvin Miller, Alfie Agaman, Ross McKeever and Ola Lawal for the visitors. Bradley Rodden with the consolation goal for the Wasps. A tough afternoon for Alloa, and yeah, lessons to be learnt from today's defeat for sure.
Aye, the Joyce. Right, well, I think I'm going to wrap this up quickly tonight. I'll need to go make some inquiries about our capture card, and we'll be back to normal hopefully next week for the visit to Cove Rangers. So the BBC Alba cameras will be off, and we'll see you soon.